Hello everyone, this is Couple, and this is Couple Books. Thank you for joining me today. You might ask, why am I dressed up like this? The reason is I don't need a reason. I don't answer to you, I only answer to my mother. The second question you may be asking is this a Harry Potter related video because I'm wearing my Ravenclaw cape? The answer is no, this has nothing to do with Harry Potter, but I am wearing this cape, and that's all you need to know. It's a need to know situation. Today we are going to be doing the intimidating TBR pile tag questions. This book tag was started by Lindsay Ray, and I found it on breatheandread.com. Now with that, let's get started. This is a great tag for figuring out how bad my TBR pile has gotten, and it's gotten atrocious. Let's just leave it at that. First question is, which book on your TBR pile have you not finished? Well, one book I have not finished is Kings of the Wyld by Nicholas Eames. I started this book, got like 5 pages in, and just haven't had a chance to finish it yet, but that pretty much goes for most of my TBR pile. But this book I'm really excited to get back into. From what I've gathered, it's about this guy named Clay Copper, and he was once part of one of the best and most feared bands of mercenaries out there. Years later, after the band is disbanded, needs to get the band back together to help him out. It gives me a lot of really cool vibes. I've heard really good things about this book. I'm really excited. It's a new author for me. It's a new series for me. I'm super stoked. There's 2 books out right now, I do believe. This and then the follow-up book, I think, is The Bloody Rose. So looking forward to getting started with this series. Just need to sit down and get started. The next question in this tag is, what's a book you haven't had the time to read? Well, in theory, my entire TBR pile. That's why it's a TBR pile. I just haven't had time to read. One that I chose for this is The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. There's also another name for this book, and it's 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, depending on whether you're in the UK or US and which one you bought. From what I've heard, this is a really fun murder mystery with some supernatural-esque parts in it. Basically, this man wakes up and he has to figure out who's going to kill Evelyn Hardcastle, and he keeps waking up in a new body of a person at this place until he can figure out who the murderer is. It's very interesting, a little Groundhog Day inspiration, I feel, and a little murder mystery, and it's kind of, what I've heard, got a really good sense of humor. I'm super excited to read this book. I just need to get around to doing it, but very excited. Apparently also Stuart Turton has a new book coming out, which I'm also very excited to read. Looking forward to this. The next question on this tag is, what's a book you have not read because it's a sequel? Well, that's happened, unfortunately, a few times where I bought the book only then to learn that it's actually the second book in a series, or third, fourth, fifth, etc. You get the idea. And for me, that book is The Obelisk Gates by N.K. Jemisin. I love this author. I read her Inheritance series and I loved it very much. And I have read majority, if not finished, the first book in this series called The Fifth Season. I just need to get around to rereading the 5th season so I know what happened in that book so I can read this one, because I forgot. And that's an issue, because it's hard to read a sequel when you don't know what happened in the first book. I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Look, it's even got the receipts in it because I haven't even had a chance to open it yet. So really looking forward to getting to this book. I've heard amazing things about this series. I really like this author, at least what I've read of hers, and I just need to remember what happened in the first book. The next question in this tag is, do you have a book you haven't read because it's brand new? Yes, sadly. That would be Jade City by Fonda Lee. I know there's 2 books out now, so I don't know if you would classify it still as new, but for me it's new because I recently bought it, and I'm really excited to get into it, but I haven't heard a lot about it yet. I've heard it's good from a few people, but I'm kind of got a few other books higher up on the priority list simply because I don't know how great this book is and if it should be like my next hot read or if I can wait a little bit to see how the waters are treading. And I've already heard some good things, so looking forward to one day, maybe, hopefully, in the future getting to this one. The next one, number 5, from what I believe, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the number 5th question is, have you got a book by an author you've read before but didn't really like? So I'm assuming it's referring to the author, in which case my book is 11/22/63 by Stephen King. I tried to read Pet Sematary by Stephen King because I've heard a lot of good things about that book. I've also tried to read the Gunslinger series by Stephen King because I've also heard great things. And I keep giving him a try, and I keep not enjoying his stuff. I have yet to finish a Stephen King book, and that might be part of the issue. This book I've heard absolutely amazing things about. It's kind of a new new genre with the whole historical element to it, and I really want to give it a shot. It's hunky as I'll get up. Like, look at that. Like, what is that? Like, this is like a bulletproof vest thickness right here. This is thick. 7 C's. I really want to give this a shot. I really want to give Stephen King yet another chance because I know if I can just get into his stuff, he's got such a backlist, it'd be wonderful. Not for my bank account, nor for my TBR pile, but it would be wonderful. The next question that is on this TBR tag is there a book in your TBR pile that you're not in the mood to read? My book for that is The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is a horror book about a troop of boys, like Boy Scouts, who go to an island for camping and survival technique training and stuff like that. What I've heard is that it's great, but there's a lot of body horror. I recently read by Paul Tremblay, The Cabin at the End of the World, and it had some really graphic horror in it, so I just need like a second to cleanse my palate of like body gore before I jump into another book. Not because I don't enjoy body gore, well, I don't know if enjoy is the right word. If you enjoy body gore, I'm not saying there's something wrong with you, but it is concerning slightly. And because I don't necessarily like enjoy it, but I can stomach it, and I do think it's useful in books and can make a book more enticing to a certain degree. Once again, I'm finding myself uncomfortable with using these words to reference body horror. But that's besides the point. I want to read this book. It's got body gore. I've had enough body gore for a minute. So I'm going to wait a second, but looking forward to it. Heard great things. Okay, the next question is, what book have you put off reading because it's huge? That would be The Children of Earth and Sky by Guy Gavriel Kay. I have yet to read this author. I'm really excited to read this author. I've heard good things. I have this book in Tigana, I believe it's called by him. Both of my TBR. But this is huge. Like, the font's like not super big, which is also reiterates the point that it's huge. But I'm really looking forward to getting to this book. I'm really looking forward to reading this author and kind of seeing if he falls within my tastes or not. And it's a beautiful cover, and I'm really looking forward to getting around to it. So hopefully soon we will get a chance to read this book. Yeah, I have absolutely no clue what it's about, so it's really exciting. I just know that Guy Gavriel Kay combines historical situations and settings with magical, and I'm really excited to give that a shot. Next question on this TBR is, do you have a TBR book that you mostly bought because of the cover? And yes, that would be Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. Sorry for butchering that. But I really like simplistic covers. I think they're very pretty. Every now and again I can get my jazz on for a more artisty cover, but just like the black with like this I assume it's either a photograph or it's realistic, or it's a realistic drawing or something like that, but it's very simple, it's very clean, and I really enjoy how this looks. I like how it looks on my bookshelf. It's like sharp, and the gold on black is just really clean and really simple, and I love it. And that's just like that's gorgeous. And if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong, because my opinion is right. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Yes, so that is a book I bought because of its cover. I've also heard good things about it, which is a bonus. The last question on this TBR pile tag is, which book in your TBR do you find the most intimidating? And that might surprise you guys, but it's Mark Lawrence. This book, Prince of Thorns. I have bought like 7 of Mark Lawrence's books. Why, do you ask? I don't know why. Mostly because I hear he's a good author. I keep being told to read his books, and yet I've never gone around to reading a single one of his books yet. And while it's not necessarily a thick book, I just haven't had a chance to read it yet, and I keep putting off reading it, and then I keep buying more of his books. The reason I'm so intimidated is because if I don't like his books, and if I don't like this book, there's a very solid chance that I just wasted a lot of money on a lot of his books and bought like entire trilogies of his without ever even giving the guy a chance. When there's authors that I really do love and really do enjoy, and I only have one of their books. So it's a really confusing predicament. I'm really intimidated by the fear that I may not enjoy this book. But there's always the hope I will. That is the intimidating TBR pile tag. And I thank you guys so much for joining me while we go through 9 of the books on my TBR lit pile, which is just growing progressively massive every single day. But it's fine. It's okay. We don't need to look at my wish list because that's even scarier. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys will take a chance to drop down in the comments section, tell me what book I should read off the ones I showed you today. Maybe help push me towards finishing my TBR pile at some point in the very, very distant future. Thank you guys for joining me. This is Couple. This has been A Couple Books. See you guys later. Bye.